Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all well and dandy out there in Beatles world, YouTubers, members of the VC, anybody into that that's just come across us, and anybody else that's tuned in. This is Beatle Dave, the record collector. Thank you very much quickly to everybody that has watched my last video I did on the Hollies LPs. That's been very successful. I've had lots of views and I've had lots of comments and things like that, so thank you to everybody that did take the time to watch it and leave me a comment and leave me a like. So in a similar vein, we're going to be looking at a box set. This is the Rolling Stones box set. I've had this for about 2 years, and in the very early days of this channel I did actually do a video on this, but it wasn't the best video in the world, so I thought, because I'm waiting for some things to come in the post, we'd revisit this. So this is simply called the Rolling Stones limited edition set of the first 8 studio albums. Now, as far as I know, I think this is British, but I'm not 100% sure. And this is just a slipcase, so there's not actually a box in it, it's just a slipcase around the actual albums. So I have to be very careful as I take these out. So that is it. That is the slipcase. Now, whether or not there was ever like a box in this, I don't know. And it just says Roll 1 on the side there. Don't know if you'll be able to see it. Now, has anybody else ever seen one of these? Because I haven't. In all the years I've been collecting records, I've never ever seen another one of these. So it's like it says, it is the first 8 studio albums. So we'll take a look, shall we? So the first one is the Rolling Stones. Obviously when this was released, the Rolling Stones were an R&B band. They weren't a rock band, there was a rhythm and blues band. So this is on Decca, it's mono, and the catalogue number is LK4605. Now the thing about this is, so that you can't be a naughty reseller and sell this as an original pressing, all these pressings have got a gold star on them, which means that they are exclusive to this box set, as far as I know anyway. So you do get it. This is the sleeve it came in a sleeve. There is one sec, make sure I get the right. Yeah, it is British press. Yeah, it's British press, and I thought for a second it might be German. It's actually British. At the top here, where you've got the box Decca logo, it does say Made in England, the Decca Record Co Limited. So this is from 1964. Lovely shining album. I will admit it is a while since I've played these, because I've got a lot of these on original records, so I usually play them and keep this box set separate, sort of thing. Now, if I remember rightly, I didn't pay a great deal for this. I think it was under £100. Famous last words, isn't it? But I'm sure it was less than £100. And most, original copies of these will probably cost you 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 pound in some cases. Move that out of the way. So as with the last video on the Hollies albums, if anybody out there has got any information on these albums, I would be very much appreciated. It's only a little bit of fun, just a video to show you. So this is the Rolling Stones number 2. All these covers are in immaculate condition, as are the records. It's just a shame that it's just in like that slip around thing, but I don't know if it came like that or there was a box that went in it as well. So on this you've got Everybody Needs Someone to Love, Down Home Girl, You Gotta Catch Me, Time Is On My Side, well that was a hit, wasn't it? What a Shame, and Grown Up Wrong. Side 2 is Down the Road a Piece, under the boardwalk, down by the sea. I can't be satisfied. Not I can't get no satisfaction. I can't be satisfied. Painting My Heart, Off the Hook, and Susie Q. This is from 1965, I think, if I remember rightly. I should say 1964 now. 1965. Again, it's on the red Decca label. Boxed, one box Decca label. Mono. How do you know it's mono? Because it says so there. Lovely shiny records. So, has anybody else ever seen this collection? I know there was a similar one that came out in Germany in the 80s, so whether this is the English counterpart, I don't know. That Rolling Stones #1 was mono one as well. So the catalogue number for this one is LK4661. Again, it has got that gold star on it just there, look. Then we get Out of Our Heads. Now in America you got this, but had a slightly different track listing, didn't it? So on here you get She Said Yeah, Mercy Mercy, Hitchhike, That's How Strong My Love Is, Good Times, Got to Get Away. Side 2 is Talking About You, Cry to Me, Oh Baby, We Got a Good Thing Going, Heart of Stone. That was a very early Mick Jagger and Keith Richards song. The Under Assistant West Coast Promotion Man, and I'm Free. I'm free to do what I want any old time. Soup Dragons or somebody have a version with that, hit with that, didn't they, in the 90s, and the baby sort of stuff time. This one is in stereo. So that is side 1. And that is side 2. Who can remember these inner sleeves when they used to have warnings on? Home taping is killing music and it's illegal. And the copyright thing at the bottom. So for those of you that like your catalogue numbers, bear in mind these are repressings, they're not originals, but I think they do follow the same catalogue pattern. So this is stereo, so it's SKL 4733, and I think this was again in 1965. Then we get Aftermath, and again I think you got a similar titled album in America and some other parts of the world, but the contents were slightly different. This is from 1966, and you'll get to get some classic Rolling Stones songs now. So you get Mother's Little Helper, Stupid Girl, Lady Jane, what an underrated song that is. Under My Thumb, Don't You Bother Me, Going Home. Side 2 is Flight 505, High and Dry, Out of Time, Baby, 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 We're Out of Time. It's Not Easy, I Am Waiting, Take It or Leave It, Think What to Do. So that is the track list in there. So I'm having to do this on my phone because I don't know if my laptop is about to give up the ghost, but it's not working properly, just put like that. So like I say, this one is from 1966. So again, so this is stereo. Lovely labels. Like I say, each one of these is virtually mint because they've hardly ever been played, because I've got most of these on original 1960s pressings. Why did I get this? Because when I got this, there was a few of them that I didn't have, like Aftermath, Out of Our Heads, I think it was Between the Buttons, and Let It Bleed. And this was cheaper to buy this collection or box set than it was to bought those either as originals or reissues. Between the Buttons. I think this is a very, very underrated album by the Rolling Stones. Again, that is just my opinion. So side one, you've got Yesterday's Papers, My Obsession, Backstreet Girl, Connection, She Smiled Sweetly, Cool, Calm and Collective. Side two, you've got All Sold Out, Please Go Home, Who's Been Sleeping Here, Complicated, Miss Amanda Jones, Something Happened to Me Yesterday. Yeah, like I say, I think this is a very, very underrated album in the Rolling Stones catalogue. Again, it is stereo, so it's SKL 4852. Now this is from 1967, isn't it? But that just looks like them trying to sort of like do a cover like Rubber Soul to me. And you get like this little like cartoony thing on the back. So I don't think, like, if any of these did have posters and things, I don't think you get them with this set. Again, virtually mint condition. Just while we're looking at these, just a quick observation or a question to all you collectors out there, i.e. people like Beatles Brad, me and Mr Mayo, Andrew Dixon, Toby Jackman, Beatley Tone. Do you think the price of new vinyl is getting a bit stupid? I was looking at something yesterday, I can't remember what it was, and I think it was a Madness LP, it was a reissue, and it was something like £45, and it wasn't anything special. It wasn't like a, you know, a super deluxe set, or it didn't have posters or anything. It was just a bog standard reissue of a Madness album. Why is it getting that much? Are the record companies now trying to say that everything that comes out on vinyl is a collector's edition? Somebody did say that, what's that bookshop, is it Waterstones, I don't know where they lived, had gone in there the other day and they started selling records, and they were all top end. You're virtually paying as much as what you would in HMV. In some cases there was even higher. Why? If you put them slightly less, you'd sell more copies, wouldn't you? Would we as collectors still buy them? Of course we'd probably buy more than what we do now. I think an album like that, a reissue of that, should be £25 max. £20-25, because it's a single album, isn't it? Yes, I know an original copy of this is going to be worth more. That's not what I'm saying. I'm about for new records. Do you think the pricing is getting stupid? And especially with what's going on in the world and the credit crunch and stuff in the UK and Christmas coming up, we've got all this stuff by the Beatles and other bands coming out. Can everybody afford to buy what they want? I mean, I'm lucky. I don't want everything that comes out by the Beatles. So in one case I'm lucky. I've got a few things ordered, don't get me wrong, but I just think it's going a bit crazy. That's just my opinion, you know. You might disagree. You might think, oh yeah, you know, albums should be £50 or £60 a piece. Now some albums are worth that, don't get me wrong. If it's a double or triple and you're getting all posters and stuff with it, yeah, that's fair enough. But when it's just a bog standard album and a bog standard sleeve and nothing else, I think they should be around the £20-25 mark, not £35 and £40 like there are in some shops. Then there's this one. Now, is this the Rolling Stones Sgt. Pepper's? Nowhere near. There is some brilliant songs on it, but it's, you know, the best thing about this is probably the cover. And if you look dead closely, I don't know if you can see it on this. I don't think you can. there was like a 3D sleeve, and if you looked, you could actually see the faces of John and Paul in it. This is a gatefold. So if a record's got a gatefold, do you mind paying a couple of pound more for it? See, I don't. That's going off the topic. We're looking at these that were reissued in the 80s. I would have thought. Stereo again. So it's TXS 103. You have got some really nice songs on this, because you've got In Another Land, which is a Bill Wyman song, which is a very weird, but it fits this album. You've got 2000 Light Years From Home, which is absolutely fantastic, and you've got She's a Rainbow. The rest of it is a mishmash, I would say. So yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong, it is a nice album. I like listening to this. I have to be in the mood to listen to it, but I wouldn't put that in the same category as Sgt. Pepper. Again, that is just my opinion. You could think this was the best thing the Rolling Stones ever did, and to a certain extent it was, because I think this is the Rolling Stones at a sort of peak, and it is the last album that really featured Brian Jones, isn't it? And as I've said before, Brian Jones, yeah, he had a, you know, he liked his drink and his drugs and his women and things like that, you know, or the trappings of success, if you want to call it like that. But he was a very talented musician, and I think he was self-taught. I'm sure I watched a documentary and it said everything that he could play was self-taught. He could play the guitar. Well, everybody knows he could play the guitar. He could play the saxophone. He could play keyboards. He could play recorders. He could play Indian drums, piano, sitar. You know, I think when he left the band, or was kicked out of the band, although the Rolling Stones did go on to have, in some ways, a greater success in the early 70s, I think the heart of the Rolling Stones died when Brian left the band. Again, that is just my opinion. You might say, Dave, you're talking a load of fucking crap, sort of thing. That is entirely up to you. Yeah, it is a nice album, this. An original copy of this with a 3D cover is quite expensive. You can pick the issues of this up from sort of like £25, a second hand one I'm on about. I don't know what it'd be like in certain record shops, but if you haven't got it, it is a nice one to have. It's the Rolling Stones doing their bit of psychedelia, but then I always think this album is better. This is the Rolling Stones Beggar's Banquet, and in some ways this is an overlooked album as well in the Rolling Stones catalogue, and yet you've got some fantastic songs on this. You've got Sympathy for the Devil, No Expectations, Dear Doctor, Parachute Woman, Jigsaw Puzzle. Then you've got Street Fighter Man, what a fantastic song, Prodigal Son, Stray Cat Blues, Factory Girl, and Soul to the Earth. That is the track list. And now Soul to the Earth, if you ever watch the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus, that is featured in it right near, well, I think it is the end song that they sing, and all the cast are there and they're going like this. And they always say that Brian and Keith Richards didn't get on, but they're laughing and joking and everything on that. Brian Jones does play on this to a certain extent. I think by the time they've been recording this, he'd turn up and he would not, some days he wouldn't be able to play any instruments. Other days, on a good day, he could play anything. He does play on Sympathy for the Devil and things like that. They say that if you watch the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus film, his guitar's plugged in, but it's not plugged on, switched on. But if you see him, I think he is actually playing it. Whether these stories came out after he died and things like that, I don't know. Brian Jones was Brian Jones. He was a musical talent, and he's very sadly missed. There's suspicious circumstances over the way he died and things like that, which we won't go into. I think Brian Jones was, as I've said, the heart of the Rolling Stones. Don't forget, he formed the band. It wasn't Mick and Keith that formed the band, it was actually Brian Jones. So this again has got that little sticker thing on it. This was produced by Jimmy Miller, recorded at Olympic Studios, engineered by Glenn Johns, Eddie and Gene. All selections Mirage Music Limited. But there was actually an alternate cover to this, wasn't there? Again, gatefold. Did we look at the? Did we look at the record on this one? Getting carried away. I am so sorry. Again, this is in virtually mint condition. So this is the first 8 UK studio albums, but there's one more to go, isn't there, folks? If you're paying attention, there's one more to go, which is Let It Bleed. So on here you get Let It Bleed, Love in Vain, Midnight Rambler, that's a fantastic song, Gimme Shelter, another fantastic song. You got the Silver, You Can't Always Get What You Want, which again was featured in the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus film. Live With Me, Monkey Man, and Country Honk. Now Country Honk is a country style version of Honky Tonk Woman. SKL 5025. Now the original one of these did actually come with a giant poster. This doesn't. Lovely cover though, isn't it? Well, is it a lovely cover? I always think this is actually quite a fine cover. Again, you know, Brian Jones did play on a couple of the songs on here. Well, he did the original version of You Can't Always Get What You Want, so I presume it is the version of that is on here, but I could be wrong. Again, produced by Jimmy Miller. Manufactured by the Decca Record Co Limited. 1969. So that's it. So you get those 8 albums. And like I say, at today's prices, if I wanted to go out and buy every one of these, that would cost me well over probably £200. But you did get something else with this. You got a book. Now I don't know if this book was in with it or not. It did. I mean, when I got that, this book was in with it, so I'm presuming that it was in with it. Although it does go into the 70s and stuff with this, so very delicate. It's gonna be hard for me to show you anything without breaking the book. It's the same as most of them pages have just come out now. The glue that they used in here, I think, was fish paste or fish based, and after a while it deteriorates. So you did get that, and like I say, all of this was less than £100 when I bought it a few years ago. The sound quality on them is amazing, honestly. Even on my on my basic deck that I've got up here, which if you don't know, it's a Sony Direct Drive turntable with an Audio Technica cartridge. That is my everyday playing deck. I've also got a Technics up here, which is also Direct Drive, and then I've got my Denon one downstairs, and I've just moved my old Gerhard, is it Gerhard? BRS deck over here, so I can play all my old mono albums and mono singles now on there. See, that just pops in there like that. So I'm not sure if that was actually part of this or not, but it does fit in with it, so that is it. Have any of you ever seen this before? I know there is a Reader's Digest one that's very similar to this. and a German one that came out in the 80s, although the sound quality on the German ones I don't think is on par with this. So again, if you've got any information, please leave a comment. Thank you to everybody that is leaving comments and leaving me likes, by the way. I've got such wonderful people out there supporting me, and I am very honoured, and I do appreciate each and every one of you. And that's going to be it. No twist and shouts today, because I was actually tidying up in here, and then I saw that and I thought, let's do another one on that. Let's see if we can do a bit of justice to it. What's it worth? What would you pay for this? If you saw this in a record fair, what would you pay for it? I bet this would be up for something stupid like about £200 or £250 at a record fair. And in all fairness, as I was saying about the records that are being pressed today, at least you know these are pressed in the UK. So you know that the sound quality on these is going to be absolutely spot on. Now, somebody did ask me the other day, am I going to get the Beatles 1964 US mono box set? Right, at this precise moment in time, no, I'm not. There's a couple of reasons why I'm not at the moment. One is I've got the mono albums up there anyway. Yeah, they're not in tip-top condition, but I've got them. So do I really need them? Sensible Ed, no, I don't. Collector's Ed, yeah, I would like them. I would like to have some nice, you know, brand new mono copies. But this is the thing, again, it's an 8 album box set, but you're only really getting 6 albums, aren't you? Because the 7th album, which is a double, is a documentary album, basically. If you buy all those separately, at the minute, on HMV site and Beatles.com and things like that, I think they're around £39 each. So, if I do get any, I might get them separate. If I'd got the money, right now, I would get the box set. I will be honest, I would get the box set. When the Beatles mono box set came out in 2014, I was a bit like that about getting it. And I kick myself now, because I could have got that for £250 when it came out. And what they're going for now? Well over £1,000. So, to answer the question, no, I'm not, at this moment in time, I'm not going to get the Beatles USA 1964 mono album box set. But that could change. That's just me being honest with you. So, whatever you do, folks, please stay safe. I'm sorry, I'm still a bit bunged up. I'm not as bad as what I was the other day. At least I haven't coughed or sneezed yet. Yeah, he says, I can feel a sneeze about to come. So yeah, so whatever you're doing, please stay safe. Remember, Beatle Dave loves you. You are the beat of Beatle Dave. Without you, this channel would be nothing. It's obvious, isn't it? If I didn't have any fans, friends or subscribers, this channel, well, it'd probably still be here, but nobody'd watch it. So once again, thank you to everybody that's supporting me. If you've liked the video, by the way, and you're not subscribed, just think about subscribing. It doesn't cost you a penny. It doesn't cost me anything either. It takes you a second to press the subscription button. And there is over 600 videos on this channel now. Some of the early ones aren't very good, I will admit that. Hence why I have done like a revisited or an updated version of this. I hope you've enjoyed it. And that's going to be it. Peace, love and happiness to you all. And I will see you again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day or rainy day or whatever it is. So until next time, it's Beatle Dave saying cheers everybody. Bye bye. Bye bye.